Welcome to The Cannabis Vegan. I'm Jason Logic. This just in from Florida's medical cannabis laws. 23 years of failed lies and nobody does anything. Also, we take a look at the cannabis farmers of America and all over them. This and more from The Cannabis Vegan.
You have clothes on, and I notice that you have a cell phone, you have a computer. It is unfair to pick one thing that lions do that you want to mimic, when you don't want to mimic anything else they do. When lions walk up and greet each other, they sniff each other's ass. When I came in this room, you did not kneel down and sniff my ass.
Developing a relationship with nature in general, the ground, the air, the sun, the water, is really important. Because if you don't have a relationship with the elements, the planet is really just a commodity.
I just totally have faith that the way we're growing, where it's sustainable and organic, depending on how it's grown, where it's grown, who grows it, I feel like the quality is different.
We were after, a place to grow cannabis, but we had such a bigger vision than just cannabis. We're completely off-grid. Everything we use here, we make here. We just ask the question, how sustainable can we possibly live? And we try to answer that every day.
We just get to have these amazing relationships, such incredible joy in just being part of something that we're all creating together, something beautiful.
The same way the plants get to have their full expression, we can have our full expression.
People that are supporting the craft farmer are supporting where it all starts. Every great strain starts with a seed.
Alright guys, let's jump right on in. This first one comes to us from 420intel.com. As we look forward to Florida's medical cannabis, we really can see that a lot of things are happening. Inside the state, there's a lot of developments with growers, patients, and of course entrepreneurs. As we really do look forward to seeing all the states really come into a molding combo of just peace and green, the cannabis vegan, if you will. It really shows much promise. Now, with Florida changing so fast and rapidly with their medical cannabis past, present, and future, we look forward to seeing much more. But as we look forward into the earlier parts, going into the middle of December now, we're going into the December 24th, we have different versions coming out left and right. And as we look even further back on November 24th, we can clearly see that there's a lot of developments happening. And what we don't know is really holding a lot of us back. As we look more towards the developing of all the states coming together in the cannabis community, we can really hold promise to the facts that we know that there is a lot of promise that the Cannabis Vegan Society will help to push and also to show that there is a lot more to the cannabis vegan than anybody knows. Let's look more to the developing issues and developing research that we have coming out. Let's go ahead and take a look.
Developing tonight, medical marijuana will soon be available in Florida. 5 nurseries were selected today to provide Charlotte's Web.
Now that's a week.
6, WIC News has uncovered shocking information about Florida's medical marijuana laws. What you think you know is wrong.
Our investigation finds that medical marijuana has been legal in Florida for 23 years, yet no one seems to know about it. WIC News investigative reporter Ryan Kruger joins us live with how this is possible.
Well, Lois and Chris, these pieces of paper changed Florida law dramatically 2 decades ago, yet you've probably never heard of it. In 1991, a district court of appeals in the Panhandle decided medical marijuana is legal in Florida. Forget what you think you know. Medical marijuana is perfectly legal in Florida for some people.
The state of Florida
has allowed medical marijuana use on a limited basis since 1991.
Chris Ralph is the legal administrator for Health Law Services, a Jacksonville law firm that specializes in medical necessity cases. He says his firm has close to 100 clients that have established medical necessity.
As we reach out to law enforcement officials, most of them are very surprised that this law even exists.
In 1991, the Florida 1st District Court of Appeals established what could be the first doctrine in the country to allow medical marijuana. But you've likely never heard of it. The case was Jinks versus the state of Florida. Kenneth and Barbara Jinks were suffering from AIDS and treating their disease with cannabis, but they were later charged with growing the illegal drug. The court ruled that patients suffering from debilitating diseases have the right to consume, possess, and cultivate marijuana provided they can establish that they have a legal medical necessity. They defined medical necessity as the lesser of two evils. If there isn't a safer alternative, and if the evil they're trying to avoid is more heinous than the use of marijuana, then they're legally allowed to use it.
Anybody who has to take a medication that can cause death really has an absolute defense from any prosecution because they are using the least harmful alternative to treat their conditions.
In other words, if a doctor has diagnosed you with a debilitating condition and the only treatments available for that condition can cause more harm than marijuana, then by law, you can claim medical necessity.
All right, guys. Well, that changes everything. As we look forward to seeing much, much more, Florida has a lot to discuss. So for now, we'll leave it there. Moving on. Our next topic shows, straight out of marijuana.com, that the New Jersey school becomes the first U.S. to allow, well, you know it, cannabis for students. This is really super exciting, everybody. I want to share two things. First thing being, to see the children have access to cannabis, that is amazing. To have access at school, well, we're making headway, ladies and gentlemen. We're making headway. As you can clearly see, that New Jersey has really worked very hard to really consider what is, well, cannabis care. And they've really developed a whole new system based upon how to really administer solid, clean cannabis. And I commend them from really getting their footwork done to really bugging and getting all the signatures they can and just really bringing awareness. I have to say big applause to them. For more, please check it out at marijuana.com. Moving on to our next one. I'd like to show you guys something that's very big to me. When cannabis really was the biggest leader of the hemp industry, it really showed that what the capabilities are is far beyond any of that. Well, as of just a week ago, I think it was about a week and a half ago, that the college, Dunlop Stone University, is offering, well, you guessed it, cannabis classes. It's worth 3 credits in college, which is absolutely amazing because, well, we all could use more education. So I encourage you guys to follow me real fast here. Come to the site, type it in, and begin. This is where you're going to come to when you first type it in. You're going to come to the first homepage. Here we are, okay? What you want to do is you want to scroll down, come down to classes starting soon. Click on that. Now, when you really are interested in all that they have to offer, don't be afraid to really look into much more. They have a lot more to offer. But for now, looking forward, okay, scroll on down, and you're going to see right here, HCA 172, Modern Cannabis Industry, starting January 14th. I encourage you guys to really do your homework, to really investigate what you guys can do to help further yourself, your family, the health, and of course, the Cannabis Vegan Society. All we can do, ladies and gentlemen, is really look forward to the future as we all have so much to learn. For more on this, visit The Cannabis Vegan.
clothes on, and I notice that you have a cell phone and you have a computer. It is unfair to pick one thing that lions do that you want to mimic when you don't want to mimic anything else they do. When lions walk up and greet each other, they sniff each other's ass. When I came in this room, you did not kneel down and sniff my ass.